You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at The Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox. There's a super new way to support your friends over at The Experience. Head over to YouTube and send us a super chat, a super sticker, or a super thanks. We'll be super grateful for your support, and then keep an eye out as we launch membership services over on YouTube. It'll be a great way to get first look access at new content and shows before anybody else. Keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following us on YouTube.
Hey, what's going on? And it's Monday. We got Robbie here. We got John, myself, and I think we've got Kyle producing behind the scenes. Dwayne's a pain. What's going on? Marcus, Josh, John,
Philios. Right? We got Kyle. So is this your barbecue episode?
God, I hope so.
He starts telling people how to
Eli, what's going on, buddy? So, problem is Kyle's in Ohio. We can't ever get to barbecue unless he does something locally.
No, I know. I got to go out to Ohio for barbecue. Even farther than that, though.
I don't know. That's pretty far to go for barbecue for me. What about you, Robbie? What's going on, my man? How was your weekend?
Man, I had a great weekend. It was pop, pop, boom, and let me tell you that. We had free comic book day at the shop. It was a huge success. We had comics with Bueller coming through town, so we got to hang out with him for a couple nights.
The Bueller bus.
Yeah, the
man,
Bueller.
I got to tell you, that comic book with Bueller, I love that idea, man.
Yeah, it's super cool. He's a super cool dude. First time we ever met in person. We've been working together for like over 2 years now, so that was super cool hanging out with him. We took him to karaoke with us, and he did a little bit of Bob Dylan. So, it was a fantastic weekend. Saw Doctor Strange yesterday. Rather enjoyed that. So it's been a good weekend. Good.
You did not see Doctor Strange as many times as John has.
I know for sure that I hasn't. John's making sure that he's watched enough times for every version of him in the multiverse, right?
So John's not going to say anything. So tonight, I'm curious as to what everybody's over and under on how many times John saw the movie starting on Thursday. All right. So put your guesses in the chat. I'm very, very curious to guess. And I don't know. Whoever comes closest.
Maybe we'll give him a prize or something.
Yeah, we'll give you a prize or something. John will come to your house.
Yikes. That'll be nobody guessing.
Oh, all right. So, wow, these guys really.
Thursday. Who made that decision? No.
We're giving people a week to see it before we do any spoilers.
Right. So we're Rubenstein's at 13.
So when the Human Torch gets
wait,
killed,
I got to catch up here.
I can't say that because people believe that.
I got to catch up here. All right. So are we doing prices right and you can't go over?
People can go over and under.
Right,
it looks like somebody got it right.
Dwayne is at 12. Well, don't encourage her. Right.
Don't encourage. I'm just saying somebody got it right.
Marcus. Okay. I just want to write everybody down. All right. And the person who wins will get something. I don't know why.
No spoilers.
Literally, it's not a spoiler. I don't even know what.
Guy that gets up at 3:30 in the morning.
I just made it up. I just made this whole contest up. So there's no spoilers because I don't know what I'm doing yet. All right. So I got 5. Triple B's got 3. All right.
I'll throw everybody in. I have seen it more than once.
Ken Bird says, yes, do not guess one. I will tell you right now.
Don't guess one. I'll tell you right now. I've seen it more than once.
Ken Bird was at 14. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Josh went $1. Josh, I'm gonna let you retract that and make another guess. So Shelton's at 9. Lee Bizzle, we are guessing what our buddy John, how many times our buddy John saw Doctor Strange starting last Thursday. All right, so got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guesses.
Wow, we're waiting for the book to come out.
We're gonna give away a prize, and whoever guesses it correctly, I don't even know what the prize is.
Have you seen the movie yet?
I have not.
Here's the ticket. Why don't you see it on me?
Wait, does this count? Thank you. But does this count towards like the guess? Because you still have the ticket, but you haven't physically gone to burn the ticket yet.
No, I've gotten a ton of these. Regal sends me this stuff all the time.
Well, here. You save it for something else.
No, you keep it. You got to go to the movies, man. I can't.
This is the prize.
How are you going to sit here? No, the prize will be something cool. I'll look in the back. I'll find something. Is that a review?
The prize is a John Cole
sandwich.
Yeah, that thing looks something like something else.
The new one sold very well at the bakery. A couple people asked me on Twitter. I'm super glad for them. It's a great local business and a great family. I called into local radio from there, and we talked about the bakery. And
did you send Kyle the sandwich or the sandwich shot? The long one?
I did not actually.
Send it Kyle if he has time. Maybe he'll throw it up and throw up a picture of send him to John Cole. This thing, is it as spicy as the previous John Cole?
No, it's not as spicy.
All right. Apparently, I never had it because it was in the middle of the switch when I found out about the John Cole. But apparently, the original John Cole was, if you're not into spice food, you don't even want to walk in the same room as the sandwich.
I felt bad. People were trying it like, oh, man, I want to try your sandwich. And then they were like, oh, man, I got lit up. And I'm like, full disclosure, I've talked about this almost every day. When the sandwich was out, it's spicy. It's really spicy. Do not eat over an open flame. All right, so let's get our best offers up and out of here, so people have enough time to go ahead and put their claims in. So first up is Incredible Hulk, Last Call #1, signed by Peter David, and it is our first best offer book, starting at $15. And it is a low number 5, a limited edition of 5 of 125. So it is number 5 of 125. So that is our first best offer book of the night.
It's a great Dale Keown cover right there.
That is a great cover. So we have one available as a best offer starting at 15. Then next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 800, rare variant cover signed by Greg Land. Nice. And it is a best offer book starting at $19.62. All right. And we'll give Kyle a second there. And that is, let me see here.
Kyle's checking the smoker. He got no time to put that stuff up.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I got lost in a Ken Hazer piece that I clicked on accident that we're going to come to later. And I got lost in its eyes.
Nice.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, between that and looking at the John Cole sandwich, I was pretty distracted.
The John Cole sandwich is something, right?
I texted Kyle a picture. I don't know if it goes up today or whatever. I mean, it's not that important, but a bunch of people were asking about it or whatever. So,
all right. So let's take a look here. I'm just looking up Spider-Man number 800. Greg Land cover, pencilers Roberto Ramos, Marcos Martin, Giuseppe Camicoli, and Mike Hawthorne. Let's see. What happens in this issue? I remember something significant happens. Do you remember, Robbie?
800?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Is this part of the they just did 850, so this has got to be part of the Nick Spencer run, right?
I'm guessing.
Or was it right before the Nick Spencer?
I saw something earlier. Let me see. Here we go. Fandom. That's what I'm looking for.
If it was the Spencer run, I try to keep most of that out of my memory. Oh, that's the Red Goblin stuff. Robbie? No, this is before Spencer.
This was the end of the Dan Slott run, and it was all the Red Goblin.
Yeah,
this was
the Red
like
Goblin stuff.
First Red Goblin or First mention of the Red Goblin, something like that.
I remember a guy had
this book had like 95 covers, and they were all crazy.
Oof.
All right. So
I had a Twitter page for a while.
my computer is completely freaking out.
Called What's Dan Slott Ruining Today? There's a Twitter account. And basically, it was like a Dan Slott bashing account. And I think at some point you would even see like Dan Slott would like retweet the stuff if he thought it was funny. You know, he has a great sense of humor about it, right? I mean, I guess you have to. You know, being in comics,
sometimes he does.
Always so polite and understanding.
All right, so let me get through the best offers because we got a few of them here. Now, this is one for John, the Green Hornet Year One, Number One, signed by Alex Ross. So suggested retail of $199.99. We have it as a best offer book starting at $100. You know, obviously Alex Ross' signature is getting harder to obtain. He really doesn't do too many shows.
Well, nobody all the way up to Olympus to get him to sign books and bring it back down to the mortal plane. So of course the signature's getting harder.
Yeah, right. So that is a best offer book starting at $100, and that is an awesome cover.
It is.
All right. So next up we have, let's see.
If you're curious, I too have one signed, but it's not signed in black. It was signed in Chicago, and it was signed in
gold,
metallic green.
Ooh, of course.
Very nice.
That was a whole day in Chicago too, just waiting for that.
Just standing in line.
Just standing and waiting.
So next up, we have X-Men Schism #1, signed with a Cyclops cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it as a best offer book starting at $19.63. The year that the X-Men first hit. And Marcus White, yeah, probably. I'm thinking Red Goblin. My computer's freaking out. I was trying to look it up, but it is just not reacting well. So that is our first CCA of the night as well.
I'm kind of, I'm super impressed that Ken sort of, because we've all seen people do Cyclops, right? Whether it's sketches or artists, and the page is literally saturated with that ruby quartz red color, whatever. I'm super impressed that Ken was like, no, I'm going to back off of that. And he just does like a little hint of red.
All right, so Dwayne's going to start us off with 20. Gotcha.
I mean, that's nice. That's real.
Yeah, it is.
That's like an 80s, sort of late 70s, 80s visor.
Yeah,
for Cyclops, right? That's like a Dave Cockrum visor, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
A little bulky, right? A little not as extreme, not as thin as it is today. Yeah.
And then who was it? Was it you who mentioned it on Wednesday about the Ken Hazer interview, or was it Kyle? I don't remember. But the fact that Ken is actually colorblind?
Ken mentioned this in an interview with Adam. Oh God, why can't I think of his last name now? You guys just hired him to do stuff.
I don't remember.
But he does the interviews. Some of the other things he does the creator interviews.
Right.
And he basically, him and Ken just talked about it, that he's colorblind. And Adam had the same reaction I did. Like at the same time, we go, what? Like we can't believe what we're hearing.
That explains the Cyclops cover sketch that he did, where it's a green optic blast, and you're like, "Well, that's a little weird." Was that for St. Patrick's Day?
Interesting art choice.
You picked up the wrong pen. All right.
The green pen is never a wrong pen.
So next up, we have Red Sonja, Age of Chaos #2, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99, and it is one of our best offer books, starting at $35.
There was a lot of chatter.
Do you guys remember the Color Rush uniforms the NFL did?
Yes, the ones for TV.
And the Jets played somebody, and they wore red. The Jets wore green, and the other team wore red. And people who were red-green colorblind did nothing but complain on Twitter the whole time about having to watch football in black and white.
Yeah, that was a probably not one of their better experiments, I gotta say.
Josh, you're right. By today's standards, that visor that Scott has, it's like a Bluetooth visor. He's got noise
canceling.
He's got to have VR in there because that's like a scuba mask he's wearing.
It's a Nintendo Virtual Boy is what it is, strapped on his head.
Nice. But yeah. I mean, I'm a big Cyclops fan. I know that. I know you aren't. Okay. All right.
I'm
I
kind of-
forget where Robbie
I'm
stands
on
on
the Gail
that.
Simone side of things. He's a little.
Yes, I remember.
It depends
So
on the
Robbie
era.
is-
Depends on the
Robbie
era.
is- Wait, say again?
Depends on the era. Like in the 90s, Cyclops is a punk. In the 80s, he's all right. In the 70s, he's pretty cool, like in that Claremont run, I think.
Yeah,
nowadays he's like a whole different character. So he's actually had some growth, but for the most part, he's kind of a punk, you know.
See,
Not in a
people
good way.
hate me to say this. I prefer Cyclops when he's a villain. I like him as the villain. To me, that's a story that tells itself. So, and it's very meta. So hold on a second. I'm the first X-Man. You're like a father to me. And you keep constantly replacing me as leader with Storm or whoever. And then you bring Magneto, the guy that tried to kill us multiple times when we were in high school. You bring him into the fold. And then when you die, you leave everything to everyone else but me. No. Done. That's like a heel turn that writes itself.
Oh, my.
Cyclops killed Xavier.
Yeah, that's what I think that's. Let's put it
He got
this way.
better.
A guy did not have a. Oh, there it is. It's up there now.
Ah, the John Cole. Now, what? Now, John, tell us what's in it. Wait, before you tell us what's in it, let's throw up our first buy it now book. And then Kyle throw it back up. But that looks really good. I love it. Seated roll. So we have Invincible Iron Man number 25, signed by writer Matt Fraction. Not doing a lot of comic book stuff these days. You know, obviously spending most of his time in Hollywood. Can't imagine why he'd do that with all the glamour and glitz.
That's a nice cover, man. Holy cow, is that a nice cover.
And we have one available for $29.99. It is number 37 of 125.
37? People should get the Clerks reference there.
So Josh went near meat. No way. Not in a John Cole sandwich, my
No,
friend.
there's no plankton loaf or anything. No.
That will never happen. Not with anything that's going to bear Mr. John Cole's name. No way.
I was going to continue
the.
I was going to
cool
continue the
idea.
37-bit for you, John, but I don't think that'd be appropriate here for the EXP. So
That's why I just left it there. I wasn't going to elaborate on it. I was just, for years, I'd always have hockey jerseys that said 37.
So tell us what's in it.
Went with a seated roll. Obviously, this comes from a bakery. They've just been named by two different publications.
Now,
the best
John's
bakery
brought me bread from them. It's
in
excellent.
South Jersey. So this part of the country, you kind of have to go with the seated roll. I realize other parts of the country, maybe not so much. This part of the country, you kind of need a seated roll for a good hoagie or sub. Went with chicken cutlet because that's like one of their best sellers.
Right.
To the chicken cutlet, we shaved some
Is that prosciutto?
sharp provolone, a little bit of their fresh mozzarella. It's kind of hard to see because it's under.
Right.
Fresh mozzarella they make there every day.
The wet kind?
Yeah.
Oh.
Then we fried up some mortadella because I wanted something a little bit different. And then they roast peppers in-house every day. They're packed in garlic oil in the morning so that when they open for lunch, you know, you've got these peppers that are oily, garlicky.
Right.
It's much more balanced than the other sandwich. The other sandwich just had a ton of heat. I mean, the chicken cutlet in the breading was crushed red pepper flakes. So, you know what I mean? The dredge had a ton of crushed red pepper hot sauce.
You're going to kill somebody with a sandwich like that.
It really did. And that's why, and I wasn't offended. She's like, we have to do something with this sandwich because it's like lighting people up.
Oh, Kyle's like needling you here.
Oh, Miracle Whip. Yikes. And the sandwich is finished with a tiny little bit of the garlic oil that the peppers are packed in. Just a little sort of.
Nice. All right. So I'm probably going to be trying my first new John Cole sandwich sometime this week.
I'm happy to say that they prepped 5 dozen of them. And I guess they kind of thought the prep would work through that busy Friday night, Saturday.
Right.
These were gone in like 3.5 hours. I was like still on the air with the local radio station talking about the bakery, what they, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they were like, yeah, I'm sorry, we're out of the sandwich already.
So Kyle says he just made himself nauseous typing that. Yeah. Shame on you, Kyle. Miracle
me too.
Whip. Please.
Thanks.
Miracle Whip has their fans, man. I mean, it's not mayonnaise, but, you know, I see people putting all kinds of stuff on sandwiches now.
Depends on, you know, if you're making a sandwich on Wonder Bread at home, yeah, you're gonna
Middle of the night, I visited friends and family. I go downstairs. One of my nephews, he's treating like Thousand Island dressing like mayonnaise and making it up like a tuna sandwich type thing. And I look at him and I'm like, what are you doing?
That's gross.
62 left, and we can't show Spam now after the John Cole. You just can't do that.
Yeah, Spam is sort of Spam has its place. Spam is sort of like I would never. Well, I have put Spam on a burger. You know what I mean? And we did for a food competition a long time ago. I did Spam meatballs.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Did you grind the Spam?
Yeah. It went right into the food processor with a bunch of stuff, breadcrumbs, whatever. Actually, focaccia crumbs. And it was like a riff on spaghetti and meatballs, but it was Asian.
That sounds interesting, actually. All right. So next up, we have Thunderbolts number 150, signed by Jeff Parker. Suggested retail of $29.99. We have one available for $19.97 for the year. The Thunderbolts was in Hulk number 449. All right, and
we talked about Jeff Parker.
It is.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
It is. We have one available at this price. It is 58 of 120.
Jeff Parker is one of those guys that when people are talking about like super talented writers or whatever, his name might not be the first name that gets thrown out there. And Dwayne, you're exactly right. When I brought it up to the judges, it was called Spamgetti. Spamgetti meatballs. Jeff Parker, when you look at the stuff that he's done over the past 15, 16, 17 years, the guy also has some art chops. I think he's one of those guys a little bit that, people sort of lose track of a little bit.
Right.
He's done tons of stuff here for Dynamite. He does James Bond now. He did Flash Gordon. I mean, his run of Flash Gordon is probably, I'm a big Flash Gordon fan. I've read the books for years. His go on Flash Gordon was the best that I'd seen. And then, of course, people ask all the time what my favorite Marvel book is. My favorite, whatever, this, that. My favorite Marvel book is an X-Men. It is an Avengers. I love Agents of Atlas.
Right.
He basically did Agents of Atlas based on a what if 4 or 8, where the Avengers were formed in the 1950s during the Cold War. And he took that to places. And now, of course, other people do it. But that original work that he did on Agents of Atlas is crazy good. He's on Thunderbolts. I mean, you see the guy all over the place, but
he did a really good run on Aquaman when he followed up Jeff Johns' run. It was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Well, this particular issue looks like, wow, they got there's like a lot of appearances. Luke Cage, Man-Thing, Juggernaut. Let's see, even Iron Man and Thor make an appearance.
Well, this is sort of like a pretty, this is a big issue. It's a giant size issue where they're rumbling with the Avengers. I mean, let's be honest. The Thunderbolts are sort of like the Wish.com Avengers. And they finally sort of, I love the book. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hammering the team or the book or whatever, but they're the Wish.com Avengers.
Right.
Yeah. And it harkens back to the original stuff too, where like they were setting up for a time, how they used to do the Avengers Defender stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah.
At that time, it was Avengers Thunderbolts, right? And so, like, going back to the Kurt Busiek and obviously rest in power, George Perez, like, their run on Avengers and how that, Kurt was working on Thunderbolts, and then they did this big crossover. So it was something that they just kept doing throughout the ages, and I always loved it. The Thunderbolts, that's one of my favorite, most undersung Marvel properties, and I hate that nowadays they play it more like Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad, because those original ones where it was basically villains. Yeah, but basically where it was villains pretending to be heroes, that was really engaging stuff.
I thought it was engaging. Then I thought it was engaging. This book's been out a long time, so I'm not going to worry about spoiler here. But I love the fact that as that book went on, some people were like, you know what? I kind of dig being a hero. This isn't awful.
Right.
You know what I mean? I thought that was a ton of great storytelling there.
There's a lot of character work there. And then when Hawkeye became their leader and there was that character work, he had that relationship with Moonstone. That's some great stuff.
That was stuff that you don't see, I think, now. Like you said, now it seems like, and I'm not hammering a particular creator, but it seems like it's the quick, easy kill, right? Let's make them Suicide Squad. That's how it gets pitched to the editor. Right. That's how the editor pitches it to the publisher if they're even paying attention. And the story is out. And I think some of those subtle things that, Robbie's mentioning, I don't want to say they're completely lost, but they've become more rare.
Where Rubenstein, I assume you're talking about Thunderbolts number 150. So just want to clarify. But confirm that for me, and it is yours, my friend.
The end of Thunderbolts number 1, that original sort of ending,
Right.
I mean, that ranks along with some of the other, moments in Marvel history where you're like, whoa, what I mean? Where you just kind of come to like a full stop. Like,
they
what?
did that so well. Like today, they would totally spoil that in the solicitation. But like it
would be.
This was right during like post Onslaught, during Heroes Reborn. So like, there's this vacancy in the Marvel universe. We all really just thought that they were creating these new characters. And when you got to the end and it revealed that it was Baron Zemo and the Masters of Evil, my jaw dropped to the floor, man. Because they had already they seeded them in that Hulk book, right? So we're just like, oh, this is a whole new cast.
That's right. Yeah. That I almost forgot about that. I remember back then there were maybe like a couple websites talking about comics. I mean, like the old forums or whatever. And everybody was just sort of like, have you read this? Have you read this? This is one of the first books where people were like, no spoilers. Like don't do that. But it was, you know what I mean? It was one of those first things that, everybody had the face with the eyes or whatever. They couldn't believe it.
So, Two Gun, I got you, where Rubenstein. Two Gun Patro, thanks for joining us, buddy. Station. All right, so we got to go to a break in a minute.
Oh, and the last thing I would say is Thunderbolts, I think, with the right creator, could work on Disney Plus.
That's it.
They're setting the seeds. They're setting the seeds already. That's what the U.S. Agent stuff is all about, I believe.
You've got U.S. Agent out there. You've got some of these other stuff things, and you still have actors like Sebastian Stan, who hasn't closed the door on being Winter Soldier. Jeremy Renner, who he said, I'm not going to close the door. He joked around one time about there's an Old Man Hawkeye book. He's like, so he very much likes doing that character. So there's a possibility you could see some sort of, Thunderbolt or Thunderbolt-like show. Yelena, exactly. You could very much do if they wanted to, they could turn it into Secret Avengers. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. See, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Captain America, Secret Avengers. Anthony Mackie.
Road Collecting, thanks for joining us, buddy. We appreciate it, man. Happy Monday. All right, so it is time for our first break. So we will take our first break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
There's a super new way to support your friends over at The Experience. Head over to YouTube and send us a super chat, a super sticker, or a super thanks. We'll be super grateful for your support, and then keep an eye out as we launch membership services over on YouTube. It'll be a great way to get first look access at new content and shows before anybody else. Keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following us on YouTube.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, hello there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Andre, folks. I'm your host, Andre Compa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Gang Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box?
What's in the Box?
Comic Culture and Sales.
All right, and we're back.
We are back.
All
John
right,
Spilios brought up a good point. Dark Avengers too. Yeah, there's every time I see someone say something to the extent of Disney Plus is played out with Marvel series, I'm like, you understand there are literally decades and decades of content they haven't gotten anywhere to. They could do Agents of Wakanda with their eyes closed. They could do some sort of. The reason I guess there's no Norman Osborn in the MCU is because it's a Sony Spider-Man thing, right?
I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
There still could be, right? There still could be. What they did with No Way Home with Willem Dafoe, kind of like nobody knew who he was. So I don't know. There's all kinds of things they could do.
Yeah,
But what Marcus says is the Contessa, the Julie Louis-Dreyfus character. Anything
Right.
she's connected to, I think, is leading to Thunderbolts.
I would agree with that. I mean, unfortunately, yeah, they could do something with Norman Osborn, but I guess it's in the hands of the lawyers now and corporate execs. So if they can hammer out how they're going to do this, and then there's the big summit that's supposed to take place.
Well, that would be my guess. That's why they're kind of. There's no Norman Osborn in the MCU. That's my big guess there, is that they're trying to, they got to coexist, right? I mean, Sony, I guess, doesn't want to sell the rights. I don't even know if they tried to buy the rights back. I don't know what the deal is. Well, nobody really knows. I can see where Sony sees this as like a big moneymaker for them. They've talked about doing Spider-Man movies. They don't care if they have 10 different guys be Spider-Man. All right, well, what's done is done. Two-Gun, New Warriors. I would love to see them do Young Avengers. I would love to see them do Runaways properly.
They're definitely building up into Young Avengers for sure. Because we got Kate Bishop, and this isn't a spoiler because she's in the trailer, but we got America Chavez in the Doctor Strange movie. So they're working out some of these.
I think that's a pretty. That's not really much of a spoiler.
The character Isaiah Bradley's grandson or great grandson is the Patriot character from Young Avengers that we saw in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So they are building into it. They got stature.
I mean, they're there.
Ant-Man's daughter, yeah, they're built up.
We even had ABC. I can't remember which one of the Disney small channels is, but they had a Cloak and Dagger series for a couple of years.
I remember that. Yeah,
Freeform, right? Freeform, something like that.
Yeah, I was going to say Lifeform, but I think it's Freeform. I think it's and they had a Cloak and Dagger series. I mean, there's. For people, and I joke around. Everybody knows I love Disney Plus. I joke around a lot, but objectively, there's
up at 3 a.m. in the morning watching Disney Plus. We know you love Disney Plus.
A second, but we've talked about this with Robbie. We've talked about this with Kyle. We've talked about this with Alex. There's a lot of there still. There is no reason to think that they're sort of on empty when it comes to Marvel. 6 or 10 issue series or whatever. I mean, when they did Moon Knight, people were like, "Hey, this is not going to make it," and I'm like, the numbers, the streaming numbers for it were, are pretty ludicrous.
Right. John Spilios in the house, Lars Man in the house. You know what, Lars Man? I know you're a big ASM fan, so let's do a Spider-Man next.
Oh, cool.
Let's do a CCA. So we have Amazing Spider-Man #1 signed by Dan Slott and Ken Hazer with a cover sketch of Spidey by Ken Hazer, suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $62. It is the first appearance of Cindy Moon in this
Silk.
issue.
Well, Silk.
So this one looks similar to ones we've had, but this one is unique. This one really came from an alternate warehouse One of my colleagues happened to be over there, and never mind, Lars Man.
We have warehouses in the multiverse. Is that what you're telling me?
You do.
Kyle, does this constitute a spoiler?
And
I think Eli was in. I think Eli was in just
John Cole. Oh wait, Eli. I'm sorry, Lars Man. Eli jumped ahead of you by milliseconds. Eli, I got you, buddy. So yes, and the John Cole from the multiverse, the nice one. You know,
I am the nice one. That's the.
You have not met the other John Coles, my friend.
I wonder if there's one that's fit. Like, you know, he's like a workout dude.
I don't know, but the one from the multiverse actually has a taco truck for me when I get there.
Better yet, there's a multiverse where I'm the publisher of Dynamite Comics, and I'm much happier.
In that universe, the John Cole sandwich does not exist.
No, it doesn't. But you know,
in that universe, there is no Dynamite Comics. It's Green Hornet Comics. So
yeah, that's actually true.
Green Hornet and some others.
Dynamite characters.
All right. So, for anybody that's interested, we're running an impromptu contest, and the contest consists of how many times did John Cole see Doctor Strange between Thursday and today? Okay, and just to call out the numbers so you don't duplicate numbers.
Nice. I have a French accent.
Where Rubenstein guessed 13, Dwayne Zapane guessed 12, Marcus Y guessed 7, Eli guessed 11, John Spilios guessed 5, Triple B guessed 3, Ken Bird with the high number of 14, Sheldon 9, Josh Went 6, and Lee Bizzle 2. So if you are in the chats and you have not joined the fun, feel free to throw a number out, but I just want to go through the numbers that are already taken. So if you throw up a number that's already taken, I will let you know. John Spilios goes, is there a new Green Hornet book coming out?
Can someone
ask the authority
on the line? If it was up to me, there would always be a new Green Hornet book coming
daily.
out. I think the truth of the matter is Green Hornet is one of those characters, and I certainly don't take offense by this. Green Hornet is one of those characters that requires a story of highest quality, which means I would have to write it because nobody else gets it. No, that's not true. I mean, it requires a certain type of story. You know what I mean? Green Hornet is not a character like, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but like Red Sonja. You can have endless fun with Red Sonja, right? Whether you're telling Sonjaversal or the different stories. Green Hornet doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? In order for Green Hornet as a character to work, he sort of has to be in a, you know what I mean? He has to, I don't want to say contained environment, but he has to be a certain way. Dynamite has published Green Hornet books, and so did Now Comics that were outside of that. And back in the day, Now Comics heard from me in a negative way. And when Dynamite did it, I had no problem saying, Nick, I love you and I love Dynamite. Please don't let this writer do this again. This is terrible.
I got you, Ron, for 4. So Ron is guessing 4.
Answer your question, John. No, I don't think that there's, I don't want to say for sure, but I don't think there's nothing for Green Hornet has been solicited for the foreseeable future.
Okay, Kyle, we are not subtracting points for time that he has to go to the bathroom because the movie is still running. So technically, it's still a watch. So we're not
right
going
about that large soda, man. I mean, you go to the movies now, it's like a 96-ounce cup of soda.
A man his age, we just assume that there's going to be bathroom breaks, okay?
During the Batman missed, I think, 15 minutes because I went through 3 large sodas during that movie. So it actually does add up.
Well, the thing about it is it's not a problem for John because he watches it multiple times. So before anybody who's just joined us makes a guess, it is definitely greater than 1. So do not guess 1.
Yeah, I wanted to say it's not. There's no swerve here. I've seen it more than once. That's all I'm going to say.
Full disclosure, it is definitely more than 1.
And
otherwise, why are we having
this
this
it once? Because I made sure you had a ticket.
I have a freebie ticket from John. It is called a all-format readmission ticket. Translation: I go to the movies way too much that Regal feels like they need to reward me from time to time in case I take my business to a different movie chain.
That's actually true. That's 100%.
Oh, I know accurate. Exactly. It's true.
They send me stuff all the time. They send
Stay
me
with us, John. We know you're going to watch movies multiple times.
For free digital comics, and I mean, I appreciate it. You know.
Oh my God, too funny. All right, so
how does a free comic sound? It sounds like a Monday to me. That's how a free comic sounds.
Let me see. So Dwayne's a pain goes. Josh Went goes, at Dwayne's opinion, you can take your mom and see Doctor Strange 4 or 5 times.
That's like the worst Mother's Day. Well, I shouldn't say it's the worst Mother's Day gift either, because there's a lot of moms out there that write comics.
Well, there's got to be a mom out there that's as crazy a fan as well. Maybe not as crazy.
I was
but
going to say,
close.
I'm sure if you took like Amy Chu to see like this movie on Mother's Day, she'd be like, great.
All right. So Lars, man, let's do another. Let's do Scarlet Spider-Man #1, signed by artist Ryan Stegman. Let's see. We have one available for $39.99. It is limited edition, and we have number 47 out of 50.
One of the most original signatures in comics right now.
Yes, the dinosaur.
Really is the dinosaur.
So we're going to give Kyle a second. I'm sure he's looking for it.
He's having a large soda.
Or he had the large soda
He
and had to take a break. That's always possible as well. Because our show is slightly shorter than most Marvel movies these days.
Yeah, right? Man, that's
there
a
it
great
is.
cover.
There we go. So Scarlet Spider #1, signed by Ryan Stegman, number 47 out of 56. And we have it tonight for $39.99. All right. This was also a Multiverse John Cole warehouse find. Lars, man, $39.99, my friend.
Man, I really like that. Woo!
That's one heck of a cover.
That's a cover. I have like an art person. One of my friends is into art, and she always tells me like the colors, the true colors of things.
Right.
Apparently, that's like something called oxblood. Lars Man wants it.
All right. Gotcha, Lars,
Where
man.
it starts as black and sort of works its way into a reddish color. And I think that's probably a really cool name for it, but that's what the Scarlet Spider costume reminds me of. Almost like an oxblood.
So Kyle's reminding us he did have a large soda and tacos today, so don't overestimate for a minute. Oh,
At
man.
the Experience headquarters, I hope the bathroom isn't like 4 floors down.
I had to
You gotta run to the elevator.
I don't know if you've seen this, but Wawa has tacos now.
Wawa has everything now. They have chalupas.
The tacos were okay, but at $10 a pop for 3, it was ridiculously priced.
The truth is, I think that's what they think. Like, if you go to a food truck, I'll tell you right now, it'd be 3 tacos for $10.
Yeah, but it's
better
not
than
gonna.
Wawa's,
Yeah,
but
that's the key. There's a reason I'm going to pay $10 for a taco truck as opposed to Wawa.
Nick, well, you're jumping in real quick. There's an unprecedented heralding for Green Hornet comics. I hope he's watching.
Just to throw it out there, as always, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, suggested retail of $40 or higher, a cover price of $3.99 or higher. And as always, we have it as a thank you to our viewers, $5 for the entire set. They will be randomly chosen Dynamite titles, 50 cents a copy. If you haven't started reading Dynamite, this is a great way to start.
Shame on you. No, I'm just kidding.
So that'll be available all night, and also as available on every show that we do.
And we've talked about this before. We've actually, at some point, we will probably do a theme pack. We probably will do some sort of, we still have to go through the warehouses, whatever. But at some point, we will do like a Red Sonja theme pack or a Vampirella theme pack, and you can
We're going to make John put it together. It's his idea.
Well, then it won't be Red Sonja or Vampirella. I can tell you that right now.
All right, so let's do a quick recap because I know John loves them. All right, we did Invincible Iron Man number 25, signed by writer Matt Fraction. We have one available for $29.99. It is number 37 of 125. Tough signature to get. That one was claimed by Rupenstein. That one was claimed by Larsman. We have Incredible Hulk, Last Call number 1, signed by legendary creator Peter David. It is
He is an amazing guest. You watch some of the panels he does on YouTube, or if you're lucky enough to go, I got to tell you, Peter David, it's like story time. You know what I mean? You sit down quiet, people aren't talking, they're listening to everything he said.
Best offer starting at $15, and it is number 5 of 125. John, I'm sorry. I wanted to have a statue here tonight, but we don't have one tonight. But we'll bring it back
next week.
I think it is next week. Yes, we will bring a statue on the air next week, my friend.
Don't go to a warehouse in a multiverse that doesn't have statues.
but it does have a taco truck. So then we had Amazing Spider-Man number 800.
Large man, choose for interrupting. Large man.
15. All right, gotcha, buddy.
Sorry about that.
No. Thank you for telling me that, dude. You're my extra pair of eyes.
Forget food trucks. I want to go to an alternate world where there's food boats, like in Asia, right? Like you go to these different Asian countries and you're walking along the water, and all these like kind of motorboats or whatever, they're preparing food and selling it. I got to tell you, that looks wild. Closest I've come is there's someone who was doing taquitos on a boat in quotes. I don't really think the boat moved in San Antonio on the Riverwalk.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
And it was very cool. I think it was probably more gimmick than an actual, like, I don't say ocean-going vessel, but like riverworthy.
Yeah, it's probably more like a pier.
It very much seemed like it was, but it was just super cool. You kind of went on one end of the boat and placed your order, and they had Doritos and all this stuff in like built-in containers, and then you went to the end and you picked up your stuff, and then outside the boat they had all this kind of really cool seating. They had it set up for a while outside. I think I'm gonna say maybe it was the Hyatt on the Riverwalk, but I'm not. I don't 100% remember.
That sounds pretty cool. And Kyle says closest he's ever come to is that scene in Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme. All right, so another one for you, Lars, man. I know you're an ASM fan. We had Amazing Spider-Man number 800, rare variant cover, signed by Greg Land. And it is a best offer book starting at $19.62.
Gwen Stacy just jumped. I know it's an ASM book, but the Gwen Stacy, it just jumps out at me. It's, that's like quintessential sort of yikes.
Josh went probably easy cleanup on the food boat. Probably.
My guess would be everything just kind of gets shot into a skip, and then, the hotel takes it away to,
wherever.
All
right. So next we had the Green Hornet Year One, number 1, signed by Alex Ross. Suggested retail of $199.99, and it is a best offer book starting at $100. Obviously, Alex Ross is a tough signature to get. He really doesn't show up to many places. Let me see.
I tell people all the time, your best chance to get
all right, gotcha, Lars, man,
is probably at C2E2 in Chicago. Right. He's from the area. I know he's said in interviews he still maintains a residence in the area. So my guess would be at his level, probably a little bit tired of the hotels and all that stuff. If he lives in the area, he has somebody shoot him over, signs, wows the crowd,
goes home,
hops back in the ride, and he's home before,
all right, let me see. Okay. So I got you, Lars, man. Thanks for opening that up for us. So then next up, X-Men Schism number 1, signed with Cyclops cover sketch by Ken Hazer. It's just a retail of $89.99, a best offer book. Dwayne Zapane is in the lead at 20. And then we had Red Sonja, Age of Chaos number 2, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. It's just a retail of $89.99. It is also one of our best offer books at $35. All right, so that brings us, I believe, up to speed. All right, so now comes the important part of the evening. So impressions, no spoilers, but impressions on Doctor Strange.
I'll throw 2 things out there that were not a spoiler.
Okay.
I had not seen, and maybe this will help some of these people guessing, I did not hit or exceed my personal best of seeing Marvel movies over a 4-day period. I didn't beat it. I had hoped I would. Circumstances just didn't allow it. I also think I said to you last week when you were like, oh, some people like it, some people don't. And I said, by the time we come back on Monday, they'll be at $500 million worldwide. I think they're slightly short. I read that they're at $485 million worldwide after 3.5 or 4 days. So my impressions of the movie without spoilers, it was pretty much everything I wanted it to be. It was everything I expected. When you watch these movies as often as I have, you kind of know what you're going to be getting into for the most part.
Right.
And this, again, I don't think this is a spoiler because this has been leaked all over social media. You kind of know there's cameos and that sort of stuff in there. I will say I thought the cameos could have maybe been done a little differently, but considering the nature of the movie that this is a multiverse, it's not like, oh, you invented a cool character, right? And then you kill that character off or that character will never be seen again. the whole point of the multiverse is establishing, and this might be the thing that comes out of this movie that almost no one's talking about. What they're establishing in this movie is pretty much anyone can play pretty much any character now. They're not married to, we've got to have Tom Hiddleston be Loki.
Right.
Okay, that's cool. He's a great Loki. Everybody loves him. But then all of a sudden he's 50 and he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're kind of setting up this between Loki and some of the other things they've done. They've kind of set up this thing between time and the multiverse where, somebody else can be Thor. You can have another actor be, whoever.
All right.
So,
where Rubenstein is rating his top 5 MCU movie. So that's pretty impressive.
I would, it's kind of hard because the movies now are not as connected as they were before.
Right.
People say the movies feel a little different, right? Well, they do feel different because these things were planned out for like the first 10 years.
Right.
And I say this all the time. My personal feeling is their storytelling arc. I don't know, maybe Robbie feels this a little bit differently. But for me, their primary story direction ends when Captain America says Avengers Assemble. You work 10 years to get to that point. You got to that point. And I think at that point, they have to start, we'll say, I know they call them phases, but in my mind, it's chapter 2.
Yeah.
The whole first.
Well, I was going to say, I think that Doctor Strange, this new one, actually sets up some stuff that could be the direction for the next 10 years, right? I don't want to mention what it is, obviously, but I liked it. I thought it was super fun. It is like 3 mini movies kind of put together, each act but I also like how distinctive each act is and its vibe. It definitely is an MCU film. And I've heard if you hear people say it's a horror movie, it's because it's got some of those elements. It's obviously directed by Sam Raimi, and he does get to lean more into his horror past with this one. There are moments that gave me vibes of Army of Darkness. Danny Elfman's score is amazing. Benedict Cumberbatch is awesome. America Chavez is awesome. And I've never really been, not necessarily that I don't like the character, but it's never really done anything for me. I've never tuned in or turned on for it, right? I loved the characters. I loved the story. I loved the pace. I loved the music. I loved the film. I thought it was great. I'd give it a 4 out of 5 is what I would give it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I had, like I said, I mean, there's always, I don't want to say complaints. There's always things you would have liked to have seen different, right? Well, they can only do so much. You know what I mean? I think, and again, I don't think this is a spoiler because, again, this has been discussed widely, what Robbie mentioned. Yeah, the first direction was the Infinity Gems, the stones, where they came from, Thanos, the whole snap, the whole thing. They've talked about the next directions will be the multiverse and the quantum universe. They've said that right out. This isn't like you're spoiling for me. No, Kevin Feige talked about, I think it was after Ant-Man and Wasp came out, he said, you'll be seeing a lot more of the quantum universe and a lot more is possible and capable. And then he reiterated that when they started making announcements for the Multiverse of Madness.
So Dwayne DePayne says it's an 8.5 out of 10 for him. So that's pretty highly rated.
That's pretty good. And John can attest to this because he did mention some of those spoilery cameos. There are several of them, but one of them in particular, John, I'm sure you know, I flipped my lid when it happened. I thought it was awesome. So everybody needs to go watch this movie. I'm just going to say that.
I don't think anyone here thinks it's not. Everyone I've spoken to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, nobody is, I understand they're like, oh, well, I saw reviews where it's not good. Well, let's kind of pull the curtain back a little bit, and I will do a spoiler on this, only slightly movie adjacent. A lot of times, a lot of that stuff is clickbait.
Yeah.
Someone figures if a good movie comes out and there's 50 articles written about how good the movie comes out, and you and I like the movie, what are we going to read the article for? Maybe we read it, maybe we don't.
Right.
You and I go to the movie, we come out, we're sitting at the bar, oh man, this was great. And then you open your phone and you see some journalist post a story about how it was mid, it was this, it was that. You're like, I got to read this. That's the whole point.
Right.
This is a person that's put together a package to an editor or a publisher saying, I can get you 15,000 clicks by saying up is down, black is white, cold's hot. And they go for it in sort of the, schmemmy parts of internet publishing or whatever. I mean, real magazines don't do that. Like you go to maybe MSNBC and they have like their theater review thing or whatever. The lady just tells you right out. She likes it. She doesn't go to the website, read it yourself, and that's it. But there's a lot of magazines out there, and they're, I'm not going to name specific sites because I don't want to take a shot at people, but we all know what the sites are, and they always platform some contrarian, and they do it for clicks.
All right, so let's do a Dynamite book, and then we're going to go to break. And when we come back from break, we're going to go ahead and do our drawing for who guessed the correct number of times that John went to the movie.
I just want to say one more thing about this before we move on. Just one more thing. And I was worried that this Doctor Strange movie with the multiverse stuff would be overstuffed and that the movie would not be actually a Doctor Strange movie. That is not the case. It is a Doctor Strange movie. And that's the best part about it is like, it's actually
complaints about it. And I'm like, no, this is a Doctor Strange movie. It's supposed to be primarily about Doctor Strange. Cameos are just that. Cameos. They show up, to use a wrestling term, they pop the crowd, they get you excited, but then, the action continues. Right. I mean, I think everybody knows, everybody's seen the previews. This movie is about Doctor Strange and Wanda, Scarlet Witch.
So, Emmy Comics in the house. All right, so Lars Mann's 4 out of 5, I assume.
Ken Bird is 8.
Ken Bird is 8 out of 10, I assume. We didn't say anything, Kyle.
We just good. We kind of like pot shotted around it. We didn't give it.
No spoilers here. Just kind of opinions.
I've seen no trailers, read no articles, know nothing.
Oh, there's no.
About
You're
this
a
movie.
retailer. You
didn't see the new one where the Flash shows up and it's Ezra Miller? You didn't see that bit?
No, but I did see that part of the Amber Heard trial.
In somebody's bedroom, stealing their stuff. Throwing chairs at a bar.
Oh my God, Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller with Dylan. Oh God, I can't think of his last name.
Grant Gustin. I mean, what is the problem here?
We're gonna go to break and we come back.
Yeah,
it'll be me and Amy. Well, he's having a Grant Gustin timeout.
Not only that, I never got to the Dynamite book because you guys blabbed. All right,
you're the one that asked us about Doctor Strange, bro. Okay.
Oh, here it is.
Let's go to break. We'll open up with the Vampirella Ultraviolet book, and then we'll figure out who won the contest. So think about it. If you haven't put it in the chats yet, how many times do you think John went to see the movie? All right, so throw it up there, and if you've repeated somebody else's number, I'll let you know. All right, now I got to go figure out what we're going to give away.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner. Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Comic Collectables is a pretty straightforward show. You got Rex here, he sells the comics, and you got Rockin' Robbie, he knows about the comics. And finally, John, no one really knows what John does. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he just keeps showing up. Come to think of it, I don't even really know how he gets in here. Anyway, awesome comics, rare books, rarer signatures, slabbed books, and amazing cover sketches by Ken Hazer and others. Simple formula: you want the comics, you buy the comics. To sum up, Rex sells the comics, Robbie knows the comics, and John, who might possibly be a ghost. I mean, seriously, has anyone ever seen him show up or leave? Comic Collectables with Rex and John, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern on The Experience. Comic Culture and Sales.
I said you're perfect for Masquerade.
All right, and we're back. All right,
Talking
so
about me pestering our Dynamite cosplayers into cosplaying stuff that I would like to see.
So
But they
just to
haven't
be
done yet.
clear, I believe John Spilios claimed the Vampirella. So if we could just throw that up real quick for John Spilios. It's just retail of 50. We have it for 40. So just reconfirm because I don't even think we got to the price, my friend. So just want to confirm that that's one you're looking for.
These
But
ultraviolet
I have you written
covers
down
are-
already.
Every time I think we've sort of gone to, as you know, where we can go with covers. Like I thought metal covers were the end. Shortly after that, we started doing these ultraviolet covers. And I got to tell you, these things are. I say it every week, and it keeps being true. There's no one out there. That
I got a
keeps
question
up
for
with
you,
these
John.
Covers.
Have you read Vampirella Strikes yet?
I have not. I opened the first page because Mondays are new comic book day for me.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha, John Spilios. I got you down, buddy.
I got into a conversation with Rachel Holland, who's on the cover of my copy.
I like that
and,
cover, by the way. Just saying. That's a nice cover that she's on.
It's a real nice cover. Rachel does. I think I've talked about this before. We love all our cosplayers. I think Rachel holds the record for the most covers that she's been on.
Okay.
I think she's kind of been, but people are starting to catch up. I think Gracie's catching up, and Mia's catching up. We have a few other people too.
Oh, not to mention that John showed me a picture of Gracie the cosplayer is also a baker, and she baked this cake. Literally looks like a Chick-fil-A meal. It was unbelievable.
She did it like the red tray, the whole thing. The whole thing is edible, man. They bring it to some guy. There's like a reveal video now, and the guy thinks it's like a Chick-fil-A thing, and the knife comes and cuts it.
That's cool.
Her skills are they are very high level, and I don't say that as a fan of her cosplay work. I say that as someone who for years contracted bakers to do event cakes and stuff like that. She is,
That Vampirella Strikes book, that's Thompson Nagowski, right?
It is, and I've kind of talked to Tom a little bit about it. So, again, I don't want to do any spoilers for anyone who maybe hasn't read it yet.
To answer Spilio's question, yes, I read as many number ones as I can, especially, but I am very much into Vampirella right now. I've been going through the Christopher Priest run slowly and loving it because I'm reading the new one, the Dracula Unholy book, and I'm like, it's not that I'm lost, but it's like I want to see all the stuff that led up to this. And I keep hearing good things about this epic run that he's putting together. And now he's doing like a Vampy year 1 or something, right? Basically. So Christopher Priest is putting his stamp.
And I don't think that's a spoiler because I think it's already been solicited. We've talked about it right out there. Yeah, that's the next sort of quote unquote big thing is Vampirella year 1. We're going to get a bunch of that. And then, of course, too, we're going to get some Vampirella stuff. And I think Tom might have discussed this on one of the YouTube interviews. By the way, go to Dynamite's YouTube channel. There's a lot of these creator interviews where, because sometimes people will be like, how do you know? Because I've seen the interview where the creator actually says, there's going to be, I think, a one-shot of a couple of the different real kind of like traction characters from both Sonyverse and Vampyverse.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we're going to get the Vamp, which was my personal favorite, very pulpy,
Yeah, that one just got solicited, so that's like July or something.
Is that out there now? Yeah, okay, so that's out there. And then we're getting like a Samurai Sonya.
All right, so I went.
Christopher Priest is the man, John. You are absolutely right.
We have
Quantum and Woody, baby. Quantum and Woody.
A Deja Thoris Ultra Premium Deluxe trading card. Okay, this is number 4 of 6. It is a Mel Ruby. Let's see. Yes, it is a Mel Ruby card, a subset in the original trading card set. So that is our giveaway for those that guessed correctly. So the question of the evening was, how many times since Thursday till today did John Cole watch Doctor Strange? And I'm going to reread everybody's guess.
Drum roll.
So if anybody that hasn't contributed wants to jump in. All right. So where Rubenstein gets 13, Dwayne Zapane gets 12, Marcus guessed 7, Eli guessed 11, John Spilios guessed 5, Triple B guessed 3, Kenneth Bird guessed 14. That was the high end. Sheldon guessed 9, Josh Went guessed 6, Lee Bizzle 2, and Ron 4. And Josh went
36. Josh, I wish, man. I'd have been a happy camper.
Yeah, Josh,
I'd have to sleep in the theater.
I'll give you a hint, Josh. You don't want to change your number. Okay.
It was
so
about 36.
now with drum roll, and the free gift will be this Deja Thoris card.
Hold it up.
Can I make a guess real quick before you reveal?
Oh
the
yes,
answer?
yes. Wait,
I, mean,
Robbie,
I don't want to be
wait.
in the contest. I just want to make a guess.
No. If you're gonna guess, you're in the contest. Go ahead, Robbie.
Well, I mean, I was just guess something that somebody already said, but I'm going to guess 7. That's just me.
This is the card. This is Mel Ruby. I love DJ Thoris. I love DJ Thoris. So I'm super happy that this is the prize, actually. This is just DJ Thoris. I love all the artwork that Dynamite does. I have a bunch of the different art books. But DJ Thoris.
Kyle's at 3.
Maybe
Robbie?
because of the setting of Barsoom, DJ Thoris tends to be art on a different level.
Ooh, Robbie, but you're duplicating Marcus's guess, but you are not in the contest.
We don't have another
neither
card?
is Kyle. Okay, I'll get Robbie something.
It's Robbie a card.
All right.
He carries the show.
So now we're gonna have the drum roll. Okay. Mr. John Cole, how many times did you see Doctor Strange between Thursday and today?
I believe that both Marcus and Robbie guessed 7.
That is correct. The number is 7.
times.
Okay. If John was running a little bit further behind in his retired day, 6 would have been the correct answer.
I actually, because I knew we would be talking about the movie a little bit. I didn't realize we were going to be spoiler free, but I wasn't sure, so I went to see it before I came over here.
So, Marcus, you are the winner, my friend.
Congratulations.
Okay. In Under the Wire. Anybody watch Kentucky Derby?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
bar
Can you
where they
believe
had
that?
fun.
Can you believe that? I mean, I don't know how many other people are horse race fans, but that was a horse that was entered because another horse was scratched.
I was going to say, that was like a,
God.
backup horse, man. That was,
I mean, that was unreal. I was watching the aerial view, and that horse just started weaving his way.
$7 on the Derby.
He would have won thousands. I mean,
My wife met me at a bar,
What a
which
long
is next
shot.
to the movie theater. And I was going to finish. We were going to go over, and she looked at me and she's like, "That cost me $20." And I was like, "So I guess I got to pay for your drink."
That's crazy. Jeff Wedding, what's going on, buddy?
And Kyle also mentioned
that went out today, my friend. I'm pretty sure. So I believe Amy will get you the tracking number as soon as possible. But yeah, maybe it went out last Friday. I'm not entirely sure, my friend. But I know it got packed and is on the way out. So.
Do you know that's almost
if you
15 hours that you spent over the last 4 days watching Doctor Strange, man? It's crazy.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think it's about 2 hours and something. So
It's 2 hours and 6 minutes, which is very shocking too. That it's not one of these 3-hour-long Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't a spoiler, but I will say the pacing is good. Some of the Marvel movies tend to be a little sort of
The Eternals.
The Eternals was ponderous for different reasons.
Or they don't have a good Act 3, right? And this has.
Yeah,
this one,
I think they told a very interesting, very tight story. I don't. Like I said, people will sort of pick odds, and I didn't like this, or they'll get clickbaity about saying they didn't like it. But legitimate criticisms are few and far between. And yeah, Marcus, I am not an Avatar fan.
But he's right though. You got to know that trailer though. You've seen that trailer like 8 times this weekend. There,
I have. And on the flip side, I got to see the trailer for Top Gun Maverick a bunch of times. I love Top Gun Maverick. I know people are like, oh, it's cheesy, it's this and that. I don't care. Tom Cruise and I are like the same age. He's the guy I grew up with, as an actor. You know what I mean? We were teenagers at the same time. We were in college at the same time.
I'm going to tell you all this.
Wait a minute. I just got a text from Tom Cruise's people. They would like you to stop referring to yourself and Tom Cruise being of the same age.
What? I would not. And
the Church of Scientology just call?
Yes, they said you need to stop that. John.
I'm just gonna say this: I do not like Top Gun. That was one of those movies that my parents loved, like Dirty Dancing, and I had to watch way too many times as a kid, so I hated it. I do not, for the most part, want to like Tom Cruise movies. I saw that new trailer when I watched it yesterday. That looks kind of good, and it looks like it's going to be the most exciting, fighter jet stuff that we're going to see on film ever. It looks amazing, man.
So
yeah, they've really combined digital effects with the best stunt pilots they could find on the planet,
including Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
who learned how to fly a jet for this movie.
I am very interested in seeing it. Obviously, I'm part of that generation that watched it when it came out, enjoyed it, watched it a bunch of times. So I'd like to see this movie. The Avatar, I am a huge Avatar fan, actually. So I am looking, that again is another sequel. It's taken a long time to get out. So I'm really curious about that as well. But let's do something we haven't done in a while.
Oh, hold on a second. I just want to mention this because Kyle mentioned Kyle mentioned in the comments about Enemy is Betty Page, kind of talking about what came out this week. Obviously, Vampirella Strikes came out this week. The next book coming out this week is issue 3 of The Alien Agenda from Betty Page. And of course, as always, my covers tend to be cosplay covers. Anamia has mentioned that, she's very honest on her social media about, she would like to do more writing. She's sort of looking to, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this. She's looking to be more than just a cosplayer.
Right.
She wants to transition into creating comics. Considering how this is her first effort, and by her own admission, she did not even know how to write for comics initially. She's always been a writer, she said, but there's a certain methodology writing for comic books.
Right.
And she did not know it. And I think considering those two facts, Alien Agenda is one of the best Betty Page runs that we've had so far. She does an absolute amazing job. Betty Page is not easy to pick up. If I tell you Dave Avallone did it, you're like, yeah, I know. If I tell you Stephen Mooney did it, you're like, yeah, I know. These guys do that. For a rookie writer, as she would call herself, to jump into this and sort of nail the landing so many times, I'm super impressed by that. I'm looking forward to see what she does next. I haven't spoken to Nick. I don't have any insider baseball on this. I don't know if she'll do more Betty Page. Given her style of writing, I would love to see her do Barbarella. But, I guess we'll see what we say.
All right. So anyway, we since Kyle's got it up, Betty Page, The Alien Agenda number 3, virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. All right. So that is
Michael Linsner, John. I mean, I don't, I almost feel like we put him in the same category as Ken Hazer.
Right.
There's not enough superlatives. I mean, Joseph Michael Linsner has been doing Dynamite covers for, I could not accurately say how many years he's been doing it. It seems like forever. He has a singular art style that works for covers.
All right. So next book up, this is an artist we have. This is a creator we haven't done in a while, and I think we've only done a handful, if at all. Garth Ennis's Battlefields Dear Billy #1, signed by Garth Ennis. We have one available for $29.99. It's, obviously with the huge success of The Boys, it has become increasingly difficult to get his autograph. If you can even find him anywhere. This one is number 17 of a limited edition of 299. Where Rubenstein, gotcha, buddy.
And I do want to say this. I really think people should be checking out Battlefields, but I had somebody tell me I didn't kind of adequately warn them. The Boys is sort of tongue-in-cheek, over the top. I guess as the British say, taking the piss. I guess that's the term they use. This is not that book. Well, I mean, that's the term they use.
I just love the way you said that. It was so funny. Taking
but Battlefields is not that book. Battlefields has a lot of kind of like overtones, like heavy emotional content. Right. It's about war.
He does amazing war comics. And like, so Battlefields is kind of like a spin out of War Story, right? Where it's just like these, and Garth Ennis, who writes European dialogue like nobody else, he is amazing when it comes to war stories, like 100%.
I just wanted to let people know, I like this. I like The Boys. They're two very different things.
Right.
People are like, oh, let's see what The Boys guy has going on. No. Definitely check out the book. Make sure your expectations are adjusted accordingly. You know what I mean? Because this is not,
And if you like Battlefields and you like The Boys and you want to see the humorous, ridiculous, like outrageous side meet that real, nuanced war story side, Preacher is like a wild book with heart. And like when Garth does that, it's awesome. And Boys has that in it too, of course.
I think that's, this is a guy that's kind of at the top of the food chain. There's very few guys writing at his level that consistently with that much variety. We're talking about war stories. We're talking about Preacher, sort of like supernatural in nature. And then we're talking about The Boys, which is capes.
And he's one of my favorite Punisher writers of all time.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to do Red Sonja? Get the last new comic book day book out of the way?
Yeah, let's do it. So
Immortal Red Sonja. I'm enjoying this book a lot.
Number 2, David Nakayama, version cover. Suggested retail of $50. We have one available for $40.
That is super cool. And I love the fact that the chainmail bikini has sort of become like a chainmail. I don't know what kind of armor that is. It's sort of like a mail shirt, I guess. The cover that, of course, I have is our friend Gracie, the cosplayer.
That's the one we have for sale, though.
That's the one that we...
It's a good book. First issue of this was really, really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm excited to read this one.
David Nakayama is one of those guys that's kind of bumping up against Joseph Michael Linsner. And that everything you see him do, you're like, whoa. You know what I mean? It's not... there are writers, and I hate to say... the role the chainmail shirt plays in the book is awesome. I don't want to do spoilers. I will say, people, if you're a Red Sonja fan, you should absolutely be reading this. No, it's not. Somebody asked, is this like a Sonja Versal version? The answer is yes and no. It's a different version of Red Sonja that you've seen before, but it's not like you have to have read Sonja Versal, the 10 issues. You can just pick this book up and enjoy it. Like, I got that question a lot when issue 1 came out a couple weeks ago, last month, was, do I have to read all of Sonja Versal? My fan reaction is yes, why wouldn't you? But objectively, no, you don't need to read all of Sonja Versal to sort of, I think anyone who's seen the solicitations for Sonja Versal gets it. It's a multiverse, and there's different versions of Sonja out there.
Yeah, and even if you've never read a single Red Sonja book, you could read Immortal Red Sonja and enjoy it and not be lost. Like any Dynamite #1 Red Sonja, you can just jump in and they'll get you everything you need to know. Like when you're by the time you're done.
Yeah, I think it's also a little bit by design. Nick and the editors, they want to please as many readers as possible, right? Like they want someone who's never read Red Sonja before to jump in, pick up the book and say, wow, this is a cool story. At the same time, they have to find a creator, and I'm sure this is super irritating, that at least has a passing familiarity with the last 40 years of the character. Now, I don't expect them to be winning like trivia contests or anything, but you can't create the character in a void. The character is a huge history, right? So they have to find creators that sort of tip the hat to things that have happened in the past, different versions. Same with Vampirella, right? Tom Snigowski in particular is a creator that's super mindful of the fact, and he says it all the time. He's like me. We're about the same age. We've been reading this character for more than 30 years, and Tom has been writing it for.
I just want to know when we're going to get the movie version, Mullet Red Sonja. I'm ready for Mullet Red Sonja to come out from Dynamite.
In Sonjaversal, there were some super. John, you're right. Sonjaversal was a great read. There was a lot of fun in there. Some of the Sonjas to come out of that, like I would love to see a one shot with Green Sonja. I particularly liked. I like when they sort of go to the different. You know what I mean? We had. I really liked. I think they called her Yellow Sonja, but I tend to think of her as Professor Sonja from. She's a steampunk Sonja, and they had some other characters there. I guess the one that got the most eyes popping open was Hell Sonja.
Right.
I'm constantly pestering Gracie, the cosplayer, that I would like to see her do all the Sonjas. But it's a pretty expensive proposition.
Yeah.
That's what she said. She's like, do you want to contribute to me getting a giant robot? I'm like,
all right, let's do a recap real quick, just so everybody knows what is still available. So, as always, we have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles for $5, 50 cents copy. We still have the Invincible Iron Man number 25, signed by writer Matt Fraction. Let's see, it is number 37 of a limited edition of 125. Let's see. All right, so that was claimed. Incredible Hulk, Last Call number 1, signed by Peter David. It is a best offer book. Currently, Lars Mann is in the lead at 15, and it is number 5 of 125. Then we had Amazing Spider-Man number 800, rare variant cover, signed by Greg Land. It is a best offer book, and Lars Mann is currently in the lead at $19.62.
Nice.
All right. And then we still have the Green Hornet Year 1, number 1, signed by Alex Ross. Suggested retail of $199.99. It is a best offer book starting at $100. And as we all know, Alex Ross is a tough signature to get. And of course, we've got John here. All right. You got it, John. All right. I got you down, my friend.
Nice. That's a great cover, great signature to get. It's going to cost you more than $100 to make it to any random con that he's going to be at. Like John was saying, he doesn't do many at all, if not maybe only C2E2 occasionally. So that's awesome. I mean, and it saves you the you would probably waited like 13 hours in line, John, to get a signature from him, right? So
it was my day. I've kind of said it. That was my day. I got up, I got breakfast, I walked across the street when the con opened, had my book, and I just waited. And that was sort of waited. Alex was very nice to everybody, but he knew there was 11,000 people who he had to give time to, so they kept the line moving. I had my pen, and I said, would you mind signing this in green for me? Which was funny. Originally, the person he had with him was like, no. But Alex was like, yeah, sure, give me the pen.
That's awesome. You brought your own pen. His handler was like, his handler was worried that you put anthrax on it or something.
This was a few years back, yeah, but the handler was just like, no. Like, he almost started to, like, put his hands in front of mine. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm just here to get the book signed. I'm not, the last thing I want to do is hassle anybody. But when he saw it was Green Hornet and a green, he's like, oh, yeah, give me a pen. Yeah,
that handler is now working for Dave Chappelle.
I know, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like they threw me a beating and they took me out of there. But yeah, when people ask how much, to kind of quantify this real quick, this book is $100. To quantify how much it cost me, I went to C2E2 that year specifically for that reason. So at least a portion of the flight, a portion of the hotel stay, and a day. I mean, literally that was it. I waited online that whole day. The only thing I did on my way out is like the Sci-Fi Channel, as it was known back then, had some kind of pavilion set up for like a thing they were doing from it was some kind of corporate sci-fi dystopian thing. And I remember sitting there and I jumped in and saw that. I got back to the hotel and, we ordered food and that was the whole day, and I'm kind of like soaking my feet and dry chewing ibuprofen. I mean, that's a long day. So when you put into that, if someone said, hey, look, give me $100 and I'll get the book signed for you, and you don't have to invest the whole day there. I'm like, here's your money.
And then he takes off with the book and a signature. So, all right. So then we had X-Men Schism #1 signed with Cyclops cover sketch by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book, and Dwayne Zapane is in the lead at $20.
That's a really good book.
Then we had Red Sonja, Age of Chaos #2, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book starting at $35. Let's see. And then we had Immortal Red Sonja #2, David Nakayama, Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we have one available for $40. And then we had the Betty Page, The Alien Agenda #3, Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50. We have one available for $40. All right, Lars, man. Let me get you down here, buddy.
And there's a ton of these covers too. We're not going to throw everything up there, but I'll just suggest that go to YouTube, the Dynamite channel, and Nick always does these little like featurettes, I guess, or whatever you call them, drops these videos, and you get to see all the different versions of the books.
Creative Keep, what's going on, buddy? Okay, 30, gotcha.
There's always a variety of different art styles. Almost every cover that gets done now, there's usually some kind of 90s homage style. There's always something from either David Nakayama.
We got a Spidey war going on right now, y'all. You see that? I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so Lars, man, let's see.
There's usually almost always a cosplay cover. For the people on Twitter who asked me, yes, I am trying to not very subtly hint that I would like to see Rachel Holland do Panther as a cosplay cover. I don't know what. Well, I kind of know, but I know.
When are we going to get the John Cole cosplay cover? You as Green Hornet. Wouldn't that be dope? No, man, I want to come on, man. How about this? How about Rex's Green Hornet and you as Kato? I would love to see that.
Yeah, Kato has to be a sumo at my size.
Come on, y'all. Let's get this going. Tell everybody you got to get on the phones right now. You got to tell Nick Baruch. You got to tell Dynamite. You got to let everybody know.
There where you're at, Robbie?
I got to tell you, the only con I'd ever been to in Salt Lake City, I actually met a bigger Green Hornet fan than me. This guy had done what I wanted to do.
I got you, Lars, man, by the way, at the 50.
He had found a 1966 Chrysler Imperial Crown car, had it rehabbed. Him and his friend, the friend would drive the car. Every morning they would do the thing. They would zip up to the hotel, squeal the wheels, and they would jump out. And he had the coat, and he was very tall, but he did about the best sort of, cosplay of Green Hornet I've seen. It's hard to pull off because, let's be honest, it's a guy in a trench coat and a fedora, and Kato is in like a chauffeur's uniform and a cap. But these guys did an amazing job. But of course, the car sold it, right? The car had green underglow, had the green lights and everything.
I got you, Creative. At the 60 on the ASM. All right, so hold that thought.
That's funny, Dwayne. Dwayne says that cosplay is cosplay. It's funny.
All right, we've got to take our last and final break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Or maybe we'll be back now.
Is he on a bathroom break because that large Coke and tacos?
You guys went to break so fast. I wasn't even in the right screen. I was getting this set up.
Hey, no, it's okay. We just figured it was a Diet Coke thing or something.
I was getting our timer set up for our countdowns because I was reminded that we had best offer.
25 minutes. Now, oh, wait, Lars, man. Okay, I got you at 70, and then we're going to go to break.
And now we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, hello there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I'm your host, Henry Kumpel. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Gang Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey.
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
That would be what she does for a living. So,
Right.
you know what I mean?
All right, here we go. So we got
the last go around.
let's do okay, Lars, man, I got you on the 70 on the ASM. Let's do another CCA.
I was going to
All
say,
right.
we get CCAs, we still have slabs.
Yeah, we do. So we have Stray Dogs #1 signed with cover sketch art by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $50.
Wow, this is great.
I think I got a new favorite Ken Hazer. I think I got a favorite new Ken Hazer, man. This is awesome.
There you go.
Cow.
There you go.
Is Ronald
all right,
here? Is he
creative,
saying this?
Creative Keep took it already.
All right, that's.
All right, Creative Keep. I got you.
No,
buddy.
Creative Keep.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ronnie. He beat you by like a millisecond, my friend.
That's a great cover.
There's like fire coming off of his fingers. All right, let's do another CCA while we're at it.
Yeah, let's.
All right, let's do. All right, so this is Avengers Invaders #1 Authentics. Okay, this is a triple signed book with a color Namor sketch by Ken Hazer. It is, let's see, signed by Alex Ross, Jim Kruger, and Ken Hazer. And then obviously the Namor head sketch is done by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $279. We have it for $193.90 for $19.39. The year the
John
Marvel.
wants it.
Yeah,
John got it, buddy. All right.
Wow. You know what? I was just going to say, does Nick know? Oh, wait a minute. Did somebody else? I think Creative Keep got it.
No, I'm sorry.
Ron was actually first on the timestamp.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ron was. Wait, it's not Creative Keep. Oh no,
No, it's
Creative
Ronald.
Keep. Yes, it's Ron. Sorry, Ron. Okay, got it. Thank you, Kyle.
Everybody's
All right, so
trying to
Ron-
get on that. Look how amazing that is. Holy cow, the water.
That was a
I'm
fine.
surprised Nick didn't
He's
walk in
not
and just
using,
take this
that's
away.
not marker, right? That's like, is that watercolor or something? What is that?
I don't know actually. You want to take a look?
Sure.
That's beautiful, man. The ears are a bit much. I'll be honest with you there. The ears are a little wild, but I love the color on that.
And
You know what? I'm
again,
going to hold this up just a little bit more. So
yeah.
people
And
can
again, I
see.
got to bring up the point. This is drawn by a man that is colorblind.
Colorblind.
You know, and when I found that out, what was it, on Wednesday? I was just amazed that he doesn't even know how impactful his work.
See, that's what Figure Drive's like. No, that's actually supposed to be fire.
You know, I mean that's what that's what's unbelievable to me.
We're not making fun of Ken Hazer for being colorblind. Sorry.
No. But I mean, he's never been able to fully appreciate his own work because he can't see the colors. You know,
it's almost like when a musician is hearing impaired.
Yes.
There's a musician.
Beethoven.
I can't Beethoven, but there's a musician. I listen to her sometimes. I can't think of her name now. From Israel. She's been like deaf since birth.
That's amazing.
And she plays a harpsichord.
It's
or
amazing.
something.
Yeah.
It's unearthly.
And maybe I think you might have brought it up. Maybe that's why it's so impactful, is because he can only see the shades. So he picks out the colors, you know, and you know, obviously he says I think in the same interview he said he likes the markers because they clearly indicate what color they are.
He said he likes the markers because the way they come, like it's, you know, he
if
does
that
a lot.
covers with marker, that is absolutely freaking amazing.
Yeah,
that
Dude,
is nuts.
As far as I can tell, that's done with markers.
That's
the man
amazing.
can do it with metallic paint pens, so the markers
that looks
are
like
nothing.
watercolor. That's amazing. That's amazing.
It's absolutely incredible, and it just, you know, and I only had, when I found that out last week, I only had more respect for him. You know, I already had tons, obviously, but then to hear that, it's like, wow.
Though when he watches Nightmare on Elm Street, I guess he just thinks Freddy just has a solid gray shirt. Like,
it's just a gray shirt. Why doesn't he color it up a little bit? He also the other thing that really impresses me about Ken, and he mentions this in this interview, you know, it's up at Dynamite Comics YouTube channel, is the speed with which he knocks these things out. He routinely will do a cover. Now, I can't speak to this Submariner cover, but he did one of the Army of Darkness covers in an hour.
It's crazy. Isn't it?
Like literally, here he sits down, whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, it takes me like an hour and 5 minutes, and I'm done." And I'm like, you know what I mean? He's like, and sometimes depending on the cover, it's less than an hour. I mean, that's
so. Dwayne's a pain. We are trying, my friend. So hopefully everybody's schedule can come together. Lars, man, how deep into that bottle are you, my friend?
I'm a cosplay chick.
Do you want me to show up in my Vampirella costume next week, guys?
Yes, we do, Robbie.
Right, let's do it.
I wonder if I can still squeeze into my chainmail thing.
And next Monday, get ready because it's going to be a shocker of all shows.
I can just find some red tape, right? That'll do it.
Who wrote Fat Sonia into the story? Where's the editor putting that out? No.
Well, in the Sonya-verse, there's got to be a Fat Sonya. So,
Large man, we have had some people follow us before. Rachel Holland watches periodically on Twitter. And
so be respectful.
Mankini Robbie. We've actually talked about that the same way we have had Mariano Ishiza, we've had Ken Hazer pop in, we've had Walt Giovanni pop in. I've kind of talked about maybe trying to kind of, you know, because most of these cosplayers are on the West Coast, so the time is different for them.
Right.
You know, they're like at work, they're doing their real lives, they're in school or whatever. But I've talked about trying to maybe do a sort of where they can kind of come in, ask some questions or whatever. I would also suggest if you're looking for real specific cosplay stuff, you can go to their websites and they have signed books and, you know, that sort of thing that they can sign, you know, to you.
Look at what Josh Went wrote. I think on Robbie, it stops being a vampy costume and becomes a Borat bathing suit.
Very nice. Very nice.
But not if I wear the right wig, right?
Oh my God, the wig makes it.
Yeah.
You gotta holler at me and be like, what kind of wig for Vampirella? Let's do.
You might want to ask your girlfriend her opinion when you're in full outfit as to whether or not America should.
You think after this episode?
I know my girlfriend. I bet she'd be like, sure. Let's see that. Let's see you do that.
Let's do that. But I did mean every once in a while I like to mention this. If you were looking for something real specific from one of the cosplayers, like a more personalized signature, like, you know, to Lars Man or whatever, you can go to all their social medias are usually on the covers, the back pages of Red Sonja Vampirella. It lets you know what artist did what color, which cosplayer, their Instagram, their Twitter. There's usually some social media information there.
Right.
That will be the link. In their social media bios, there's always a link to their store. And you know what I mean? You can order, you know, more personalized signatures or whatever.
Hey, Ron, have a good night, buddy.
He's got his limit because we keep talking too much about me wearing a thong. So he's like, I've had my limit. I'm out.
I like to check out too, but I can't.
I would love to see Yayahan do a Vampirella, John.
All right. You know what? Let's do the drawing.
Let's do
and
it.
for tonight, the giveaway is going to be Barbarella #5, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle homage metal premium cover. There we go.
We lost Kyle 10 minutes ago.
The 96-ounce soda and the 8 tacos.
My eyes burn.
That's a great cover. I love all of those Hazer TMNT #1 homage covers. I have my full set, not metal covers, obviously, but I still have my full set. So love them.
All right.
So this was on our Friday show. Me and Rex did a review of the full series of Moon Knight. We gave it like a mediocre review. I think there were things we liked about it, mostly a lot of stuff we didn't like about it, but a lot of people.
I liked it. I think I liked it better than you did.
Yeah, a little bit more. In fact, we both gave it the same grade, but I've got to change mine to 2.5. The more I think about it, man, the more I think about it.
It's going down.
2.5 out of 5. So take that how you will. So
you were at 3, were you not?
Yeah, I was but I told you I was at the lower part of 3, whereas you were at the midpoint of 3. Anyway, it's the inherent flaw in the design of the 5-point grading system is that you don't have nuance like you do in 10, but it makes it more difficult to place, right? So 2.5 for me. Anyway, so all you had to do was comment on that video. You're entered to win. We're going to draw that. But real quick, I do want to mention this. PCP movie night is tonight, 8 p.m. Central, 9 Eastern. So after this, watch Mishmash. And then after that, come to PCP movie night because we're covering the 1981 underrated slasher film, Happy Birthday to Me, because my birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, by the way.
So,
Happy birthday,
yeah.
Robbie.
Get it? That movie actually came out.
I forgot.
The movie Happy Birthday to Me actually came out 5 days after I was born. So it's going to be really cool. And I always love that ridiculous cover. Anyway, I'm hitting the button. And the winner of the contest is Stevie B's House of Collectables, who says, I really enjoyed this series, probably because I've been a fan of Moon Knight since his original series. I was drawn to the Neil Adams-inspired art on the book, and the TV series drew me in with the top-notch acting. It left me wanting more. So there you go.
Nice. Well,
good comment.
I'm reasonably sure he's going to get more. They Disney very quickly made sure to let people know, no, this is a season finale.
Well, I got a question for you, John, because Rex gave it a 3 out of 5. I gave it 2.5. What do you give Moon Knight out of 5 stars, you digs, dynamites, whatever you want to call it? 5 dynamite sticks. What do you give it?
You know what? I almost feel like in a certain way, I always like to do full disclosure, right?
Right.
Not a fan of this character. Was not. He's not even my type of character, right? That being said,
too Batman-ish.
He is too Batman-ish. I am not that interested. I like characters one of two ways. I either like them pulpy, or I like them Homelander from The Boys. You know what I mean? Or Green Lantern. I don't like that sort of halfway in the middle. Like, wait, you never get shot, but you're not wearing a bulletproof vest. That being said, I would probably have given Moon Knight 6 episodes, the story they did, what they wanted to do. I would give that 4 out of 5.
John Stilios is 4 out of 5 as well.
I mean, they had a few misses. The pacing was a little bit weird, but I think the deeper they go, and maybe I don't know if Robbie sees this differently or not, but the deeper they go into their Marvel catalog, the more obscure the characters get, the more they're going to have to spend catching people up. You do Iron Man, you need like 90 seconds in the credits to let you know who Iron Man is.
Yeah.
Or Spider-Man or whatever. When you get to characters like Moon Knight and they're talking about, even some other characters kind of, going in. I think when you get that far back and you've only got 6 episodes, you're going to get this sort of exposition, a little bit of action, exposition, a little bit of action, and then the ratio changed at the end.
Yeah. I would say that if I look at the first 4 episodes, I would probably agree with Robbie and go with a 2.5. But the last 2 episodes, I probably would have gone 4 out of 5. I was that impressed, thereby my getting to a 3 overall.
Yeah. 2 things for me. Number 1, the thing I hated the most about the Moon Knight show was the CG'd costume and cape. I could not stand the CGI. And the CGI.
Get over that cape.
I thought the CG was terrible in this movie. I mean, in that show. I thought it was terrible. I could not believe it. And it took me out every time. Oscar Isaac was great. Secondly, me and Kyle are like best homies now because I also am a big fan of Happy Birthday to Me. I was obsessed with that movie when I was a kid because in the video store, that cover always spoke to me with the dude getting a kebab through his throat or whatever, through his mouth. So I like the movie. Could be a little bit shorter, but everybody should join us for a PCP movie.
Rex is a Hippo fan, confirmed.
So, well, let's go in order. So, John, I don't believe that we have, but that's not actually my department. So there may be some that have already gone and I'm not aware of. But I will definitely ask questions, see if any of the medals have been sent. Wait. Dwayne's a pain. We talked about this on Robbie's show, the Hippo. I have no problem with the Hippo character or the CG or any of that. But as Robbie had mentioned, the personality and the voice. Come on, man. I mean, you're the one that ferries people to the the land
Underworld.
of the dead.
Yeah.
For
millennia, Rex. For millennia.
Yes.
And she's got to pull out cue cards and be so like the shtick is so. I'm so
an Uber driver though. Not to mention but
it'd be like if an Uber driver went to only one of two places, John.
Like not only that, but as a manifestation of a divine entity, they always manifest as incarnate. Otherwise, we wouldn't even understand what they're saying because they'd be speaking in ancient Egyptian. So, of course, she has like the.
But he's not on the physical plane, John.
Well, I think that's partly why they made it so trippy. I think that's sort of why they put like a teenage girl's voice in a hippo.
Look, after King Shark, you can get away with it with me, but you can't act like a flighty kind of it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. But all right, let's do a recap real quick. All right,
we get your shirt that's got the hippo, but then the circle and the slash.
Hey, if it's free, I'll wear it. So Dynamite 10-pack reader set for $5. Invincible Iron Man number 25, signed by Matt Fraction. We still have the one available for $29.99, number 37 out of 125.
That's a great cover, man. I love the way that plays against the black. That's very cool.
We have Incredible Hulk, Last Call number 1, signed by Peter David. And it is a best offer book with Lars Man in the lead at $15. Then we had Amazing Spider-Man number 800, signed by Greg Land. Best offer book, and Lars Man is currently in the lead at $70. And then we had the Green Hornet Year 1, number 1, signed by Alex Ross. Best offer book, John Spilios is in the lead at $100. Let's see. Here we go. Then we have X-Men Schism number 1, signed with Cyclops cover sketch by Ken Hazer. It is a best offer book, and Creative Keep is in the lead at $30. And then we had the best offer as a best offer book, Red Sonja Age of Chaos number 2, CGC grade at 9.8, and it is a best offer book starting at $35. Where Ruben signed, we don't have any Dale Keown signatures today. I'll have to look. Creative Keep is up to, let's see, ASM. Let me find it. All right, Creative Keep is up to 75 on the SM. Gotcha, buddy. All right, and let's see. Okay, so Creative Keep is up to 75. All right, and then we have 2 slabs we're going to get to right after the recap. Then we had Immortal Red Sonja number 2, David Nakayama, Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50. We have one available for $40.
It's a great cover, man. Holy cow.
And then we had Betty Page, The Alien Agenda number 3, Virgin cover, suggested retail of $50, and we have one for $40. All right, so let's get to our last 2 slab books.
I might have to go back there and peek and see if there's an ultraviolet Betty Page cover.
So we have Eternals, Thanos Rises number 1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one for $73 for $1973 when Thanos first appeared. So that is also one available tonight. All right, and then the last book of the night. This is one of my favorite covers. The Joker Killer Smile number 1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have one available for $50.
That's crazy.
Andrea Sorrentino, one of my favorite modern day comic book artists. I love this book. This book is so good, dark, twisted, psychological take on a version of the Batman Joker story you've never heard.
No. Why don't
you know what? This is like kind of like a, I don't want to quite say wraparound, but I will say double-sided. So let me sort of...
Larsman claimed it.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? I'll throw this up here anyway.
You got it, Lars, man. I got you, buddy.
That's cool. This book is amazing, man. Amazing.
Being a fan of Curtis and Warren Publishing, I love the format. I love the size. I love the kind of black label. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get back to the sort of Warren size format. I know Dynamite has done a couple things on Kickstarter or whatever, but I really love the kind of bigger format.
I love it. You can do more with the grid when you're on that European magazine format, right? You can do different things with the layouts and composition, and not every creator who does one of these DC Black Label books utilizes it. Sorrentino utilizes it in this book. So moody, so atmospheric. I would encourage you to pick up a non-slabbed one and read it too, Larsman, because the book, if you've never read it, is absolutely amazing. 3 issues plus an epilogue. It's really good stuff.
Just to remind everybody, 3 minutes, 30 seconds on your best offers. Remember the lag time. Does CGC do anything bigger size than that? They do, don't they?
They'll do whatever. Because they do the Treasury editions, don't they? Do they do Treasury editions?
I thought they did.
I'm not 100% sure if they do Treasury editions. I know they do the...
They did TMNT Last Ronin, which was like its own unique size. So that, I mean,
that's exactly what I was going to say. It's not quite Treasury, but I'm pretty sure it was bigger than like Warren Curtis.
So
era.
Kevin negotiated with them to do Last Ronin because he does so much with them direct. It wasn't one of their standard sizes. They did a special run for those.
Yeah, because no other comic is in that, right? Like no other comics in that format.
They're up to the Euro size and small magazine. I think I was reading I'm going through some training with them that by the end of the year, they'll be up to Treasury editions.
Nice.
Like they're installing the equipment.
That's cool. That they really need to do that. Like that. And then like Life magazine is a different size than other magazines, things like that. Eventually they're going to do it all, right? Like any kind of...
I had to send my SI number ones to CBCS.
You got a Sports Illustrated number one?
Number ones. I have a couple.
That's the one with Mantle on it, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know
Mickey
that one.
Mantle
Yeah, it has Mickey Mantle.
See, I want to go to the multiverse where every comic book is the size of a Life magazine. Oh, I'd be so happy. Holy cow, I'd be happy.
But I mean, yeah, it's a matter of making the plastic slabs, but obviously with supply chain issues and everything else, because I'm imagining most of these slabs come from China. So
Larsman said his G.I. Joe Treasury editions will be headed their way.
Yeah, so if there's a market for it, I have no doubt they're going to do it. It's just a matter of, over these last several years with kind of disruptions in supply chain and COVID and everything else, it's slowed everybody down, I guess.
I mean, that's a fairly common thing. Like, hey, where are my slabs? Well, they're sitting on a container ship somewhere in the Pacific, just kind of
making its way here,
shelling, and they're helicoptering food to the crew.
Right. Yeah.
I actually watched a little video about that, and somebody joked around about the new iteration of food trucks or food helicopters. Because these container ships are massive. They have massive crews.
Send me the Venmo. I'll drop the food.
So, you know what I mean? Like the shipping companies have had to arrange for, a couple 100 pounds of meat and fish, whatever. It's almost like
some of those crews have been stuck there for a long time.
One crew has been there for 10 months. God, I don't know if they've been there longer, but the little video I watched, 10 months. They have done this sort of semicircular arc back and forth to they're not completely stationary, but they do like the same.
Man, if they don't get them off those ships, you're going to start hearing about murders and stuff.
I can't imagine that they have policing issues. And I gotta believe at some point somebody just says, hey, look, you know what, I'm going to grab a boat and take my chances. And
right. It's a sin, man. It's the whole disruption of the pandemic and everything else. But all right, so As always,
Josh, food drones, cook anywhere, fly anywhere. I'm
Kyle,
investment
the
money
return
for
of
that.
scurvy, right? Now they got vitamin C pills now. It's not an issue.
I was going to say, they got to be dropping those, orange Flintstone pills on the
God, it's got to be crazy. So, N-line, everything's, sure that will go to Robbie. Happy birthday, bro. Oh, man, that's really nice,
Wow, John, that's really nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's really, really nice, man.
Station Spillio.
I love this group. You know, I welcome anybody that's watching this brand new, but that haven't watched our show before. But the regular group of viewers that we have, it's just really a great
we love getting together with you guys every week, twice a week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to thank everybody again for taking time out in their Monday nights. Thank Robbie for being here with us.
Check out the Birthday Boys show.
Yeah, check out the Birthday Boys show at 9:00 on Pop Culture Philosophers. And the movie will be Happy Birthday to Me.
We have something at 8 o'clock, right? What's on at 8 o'clock?
Mishmash is on at 8 on The Experience. Pretty sure that Kyle will probably be watching Robbie's show at 9 since they are both huge fans of the movie.
I'll have to watch Robbie's show on the repeat. I'm sorry, Robbie.
Nah, repeat views are as important as live views. Trust me.
Somebody's got to produce Mishmash.
At the theater.
All right, so this number of 7 could change to 8 by the time tomorrow rolls around. Sheldon, thanks, buddy.
Are you going to have another contest on Wednesday to see how many more additional times he's watched it?
We might.
You never know.
We might. If he comes in and the number is shocking, we might do it again.
Thank you, Spillio. I love you, man.
I enjoy the whole 3D RPX thing. Thanks a lot for joining us, everybody. Like I said, we check out Mishmash next. Robbie's show at 9 o'clock. We'll be back on Wednesday.
Yeah, with AR Comics.
Absolutely.
Check and then I'll be on Robbie's show on Friday.
And then we have original art with Nick on Friday night.
On Wednesday, it's a yes or no. Has Kyle started Moon Knight? Too funny. Triple B, you got it, buddy. Thank you, man. Jeff Wedding, thanks for joining us, man. Again, happy birthday, Robbie.
Yeah, happy birthday, man. God bless.
All right, you made it another year, my friend.
Yes, appreciate it, y'all. I love y'all, man.
We'll see you next week, bud.
We'll see everybody next week. Thanks for joining us.
And that's it. We're out of here.